Okay, so now we are ready to begin exchanging chat messages between users because when a user comes to our topic page and the page mounts, it subscribes to the topic name, which is the URL of our page, which we turn into a topic name. And then once they are subscribed to that, it gets assigned to their socket, and their socket will be able to see any new message events that get broadcasted by other users on that topic with the event new message. They have subscribed to the topic name and they will see that event of those new messages. And we will now use that to put those new messages onto the page here. And in order to do that, we are going to set up some reusability because right now, this is our example code that we have, our example chat message that is on the page, and we need to reuse this. And so we are going to put it into a function that we can reuse and display the user's messages that they type here. So let's go ahead and let's make this code reusable from our template that we set up before with our Tailwind UI CSS. So we are going to take this list item here, and we are just simply going to copy and paste it. So I'll cut this out here, and so everything inside of the unordered list, we took that list item, and now what I can do is I can come into our module here, our topic_live.ex file. And we will set this up to be a local helper function. And to do that, we're just going to go def, and we're going to call this one user message heeks. And then we can have an assigns variable for any parameters that we pass to it. And then we're going to close that out, and we are going to set up our sigil h, the 3 quotes, and we are just going to very simply paste our boilerplate code here for our chat messages. And now if we save this and we go back to our page, you can see that that code we had inside of the topic is gone, and we are going to call this local function to help us with making everything display nice and pretty. So we're going to copy this and come over to our topic_live.html.heeks file. And we're going to go to where we had that code before. So it's inside the start our messages and end our messages. And there was some code here that says more messages going inside of this unordered list. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to put all of our messages in here so we can get rid of that more messages stuff. And we are going to put our local helper function. And the way that we do that is we can do a left bracket dot, and then we can put user_message_heeks, so the name of our local function, and just make sure that you don't have a space or anything. You want it touching the dot, you want the dot touching the bracket and touching your local function name. And then we can do a / and close that out so that this is what it's going to look like on the page. So that's our local helper function. Right now you can see it doesn't render. I'm going to go back and save the file now. You can see it's unsaved. So that little white dot means it's not saved. So now I save it, and it saves, it reloads the server, and there is our boilerplate code again. But now, instead of just being on our template file, it is now in a local helper function. And that is how inside of Phoenix LiveView, you can create helper functions. So this is a really helpful video. So I am going to publish this video as is, and this way, in case you ever need to locate this helpful helper function information again, you can see how we did that. And all we did is the sigil h, which means this is going to be embedded Elixir and HTML code. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and in the next step, we'll start passing data and information into this local function, but this just gives you an idea of how you can set it up and separate out your logic. And now we can copy and paste this, and you can see that, look how easy that is. So as you can see, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a loop to put all of the messages into here. But first, we actually have to make some additional functionality so that way we can track the user's messages But this boilerplate code is now nicely stored in a helper function. So I'll see you over in the next lesson where we'll build upon this helper function and start passing data to it and start tracking the messages that we type in enter and we broadcast to every user that is subscribing to our topic. So I'll see you over in the next video and we'll continue this discussion.